the only survivor of the Kyle Rittenhouse shooting. He is speaking out, calling Kyle Rittenhouse a fraud, and he has since changed his name, and you'll see that later on in the article. So, Kyle Rittenhouse shooting survivor wants revenge. He's a fraud. So, a man who survived being shot by Kyle Rittenhouse almost 4 years ago has branded him as a fraud in an exclusive interview. Rittenhouse, now 21, came to public attention in August of 2020 when he was 17, crossing state lines with a weapon he has no business even having. And he shot and killed two men, Joseph Rosenbaum, 36, and Anthony Hubbard, 26, as well as 26-year-old Paul Prediger. Now, his name was Gage Groscrews back then, but he changed his name legally. And they were part of the Kenosha protests that was going on. Rittenhouse said the three uh, shootings carried out with a semi automatic AR 15 style firearm wasn't self defense. BLM protest where the shootings took place was held for Jacob Blake, a black man that was left paralyzed from the waist on down after being shot by a white police officer. Rittenhouse was acquitted. Yeah, the judge was acting as his defense attorney on all charges in November of 2021, including charges of first degree intentional homicide, attempted first degree intentional homicide, first degree reckless homicide, and two charges of first degree recklessly endangering safety. Rittenhouse later said he supported BLM, which is a load of BS because if you go back to the video footage, he was out there antagonizing those folks and then making the usual claim that these dudes make when they're trying to intimidate black people. Oh, we're out here protecting property. You know what? They shouldn't even get away with saying that. If a business cannot verify that they hired you to protect property, then you shouldn't be out there at all. You're just out there to intimidate black people. So, anyway, Prediger, who legally changed his name from Gage Groscrews following what he described as a post trial harassment. This is what he said in a conversation that he did by phone. It was an interview. And he said the shooting continues to negatively impact his life. It's been, for the lack of a better term, pretty S. He said things have panned out in the years after being shot in the bicep at a protest. And he said he was also armed and said he attempted to stop Rittenhouse from doing any further damage. So, following his name change in 2022, he said he managed to live in, he tried to live anonymously. That's what he's saying. Until he was struck by a car in a hit and run this past September, and his details became public knowledge. He said, I'm traumatized from it. Okay, I understand. He said his life was being threatened. That's why he changed his name. Okay, so he said he's still traumatized by the shooting and the public reaction to him. He said he fell largely down political lines. I mean, I'm still working through PTSD, depression, anxiety, and being able to trust people and being comfortable in public, frankly. People recognize me. I think I'm much more a man of many faces compared to Rittenhouse. So, wow. So when he did this interview, they also tried to reach out to Kyle Rittenhouse, I guess, for a response, and they weren't able to get him. They weren't able to get him. But we know what Kyle Rittenhouse is doing. You know, Turning Point USA got him out here going to colleges to give speeches, which I don't believe he should be doing. And the way he walked off of the stage, it is very obvious he is not prepared to take on a crowd that is protesting him. He can't handle it. He really can't. And the way he stormed off the stage with his dog, that was proof he can't handle anything. And to me, it's a matter of time before that implodes on him. Kyle Rittenhouse seemed like everything he touched turns to mud. He don't seem to have success with anything. And we already know about that book that pretty much died as fast as it came out. You know, nobody's buying that book. And, you know, they are out here trying to prop him up. And, I don't think the public is going to change their mind about how they feel about Kyle Rittenhouse. The people that are for him will continue to be for him. And the people that really believe he's a murderer will continue to believe that as well. I don't think Kyle has the ability to change public opinion about him or what happened in Kenosha. You know, I think he's going to need people throughout the rest of his life to help him get through, because it's very obvious he can't get through things on his own. That's why he had to turn to Turning Point USA. I don't know if they reached out to him or he reached out to them and said he wanted to do speeches. I mean, not a good idea at all. And as far as that book is concerned, it is just, from what I looked at, the excerpts and what people were writing, it is just him writing about some victimhood of himself. That's all his book is. And Kyle is not a victim. You know, he could have avoided a lot of things if he would have kept his behind home. But y'all, please tell me what you think now that the only survivor is speaking out against Kyle Rittenhouse, and he's very open. He wants revenge on him. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.